Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Senate Bill 4 set to go into effect Wednesday, allowing local law enforcement to arrest suspected illegal migrants. A possible TikTok ban could sweep the nation. Texas Senator John Cornyn weighs in. And the Salvation Army of Victoria gets ready for its grand opening, the first life enrichment center of its kind in the Crossroads.
We had some great sunshine over the weekend, but all of a sudden the clouds are back in. It's going to be cloudy, windy, and warm this week. Well, that's until Friday when we get a chance for rain. We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment.
And Victoria East over at Riverside trying to conquer King. I'll have that coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Karina Garcia is out this evening. 3 suspects were arrested in DeWitt County facing charges of stealing a San Antonio Police Department vehicle. Cuero Police and DeWitt County deputies took into custody Benjamin Willis, May Neighbors, and Douglas Conathan. They are charged with stealing a black Kia Optima. Willis already had 2 outstanding felony warrants from Bexar County and Texas Pardon and Parole. The chase into DeWitt County reached speeds of over 120 miles an hour. The 35-year-old Conathan is in the DeWitt County Jail for possession of a dangerous drug charge in lieu of $4,000 bond. 2 races in Lavaca County are bound for runoffs May 28th. One is for State Representative District 30. The other is for Lavaca County Sheriff. Challenger Stephen Greenwell picked up 43% of the votes. The incumbent, Micah Harmon, had 33% of the ballots. Early voting for the runoff in Lavaca County starts May 20th. And now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. And Mac, I see that temperature going up again.
Yes, sir. In fact, first half of the week, we're going to start warming back up to about 80 degrees. You might have noticed the cloud deck rolling back up into the area after a, beautiful sunshine this weekend. Out here, we have another frontal system. That one's moving toward us. In fact, we've got 2 frontal systems coming in the next 7 days. A couple of them have a chance for some rain around here. So we'll talk about that and take a look at it coming up in just a moment. Don, back to you.
Mac, thank you. President Biden and former President Trump kicked off a rematch with competing rallies over the weekend in Georgia. Voters in the Peach State go to the polls tomorrow for their primary, and both candidates will be looking for signs of what's to come.
4 years ago, President Joe Biden won Georgia by roughly 12,000 votes. It will no doubt be one of the most watched battleground states in November, and both candidates are already making their case to voters there. Dueling rallies in Georgia over the weekend as President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump compete for support in this key battleground state. During Trump's speech in Rome, Georgia, the former president took aim at Biden's State of the Union address, calling it partisan and angry.
We all heard Crooked Joe's angry, dark, hate-filled rant of a State of the Union address. Didn't it bring us together?
Just about 60 miles away from Trump's speech, Biden spoke in Atlanta and slammed Trump for, quote, who he keeps company with, pointing to U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was at Trump's rally, and right-wing Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, who Trump met with on Friday.
We all know Donald Trump sees a different America, an American story of resentment, revenge, and retribution. That's not me, that's not you.
The race for the U.S. Senate will not come through Georgia like it did in 2020 when Biden won by roughly 12,000 votes, leaving it up to the Biden campaign to mobilize voters without the help of key down-ballot candidates.
The road to the White House goes through Georgia, and I can't wait to continue to make the case alongside Joe Biden in the months ahead.
Biden's Georgia stop helped kick off his campaign's new I'm on Board tour, where Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris have plans to travel to every battleground state in the coming weeks. Biden was at a campaign event in New Hampshire today, and he's set to visit Wisconsin and Michigan over the next couple of days. Trump does not have any campaign events currently listed on his schedule for this week. Reporting at the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
San Antonio police say the investigation into the deaths of 4 people found after a house fire is now a murder case. KSAT reports San Antonio firefighters discovered the bodies inside of a home that was leveled by a 2-alarm house fire. Monday, authorities deferred communication to police when asked to confirm the cause of death for the victims. San Antonio PD would not provide details on how the victims died. Texas is asking the Supreme Court to allow the state to enforce a controversial immigration law. The law would allow state enforcement agents to arrest and detain people they suspect of entering the U.S. illegally. Last week, the Biden administration and others asked the Supreme Court to block SB 4. While legal challenges to it played out in a lower court, Texas asked the court to deny that request. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton acted without regard to due process and fair play in seeking to shut down a leading migrant service provider. That is what an El Paso judge ruled today, blocking the state's efforts for now. District Judge Francisco Dominguez says Paxton's efforts to what he called run roughshod over Annunciation House called into question the true motivation behind the Attorney General's request. Annunciation House is a nonprofit organization that provides what it calls hospitality for migrants and refugees since 1978. Paxton accuses the organization of taking part in human smuggling. Top senators from both parties appear leery about a proposed House bill that could potentially ban TikTok. They want changes made to the legislation even while highlighting the possible national security threats posed by the Chinese-owned app. The measure would force TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, to either sell the app or see it banned from U.S. app stores altogether. Republican Senator John Cornyn from Texas, who is vying to replace Mitch McConnell as GOP leader, indicated he is among those who has concerns about the bill.
The concern, of course, is there's a lot of kids and a lot of adults who are providing a lot of their personal identifiable information, everything on their phone, to the Chinese Communist Party.
He would not say how he'd ultimately vote, but appeared to agree TikTok could be a threat. Cornyn also would not comment on former President Trump changing his position on TikTok and coming out against the bill. Trump has cited concerns the measure would help Facebook. At least 7,000 cows died in the Panhandle wildfires that started last month. The Austin American-Statesman reports 1.1 million acres were scorched by the wildfires. The initial figures do not account for additional losses expected in the upcoming months due to a shortage of hay. Last year, Texas generated about 12 million head of cattle. The Panhandle was home for 10.2 million head. The Salvation Army of Victoria's Life Enrichment Center is set to open tomorrow. Here's a sneak peek at what's going on at the center. Construction started September 1st at the Salvation Army's home office, 1302 North Lewis Street. The center is about 2,000 square feet and will feature a classroom with available computers. There will also be a library and a study area and a medical room where people will receive care, assessments, and referrals. The Texas A&M Medical Residency Program is sending interns to work in the medical room. A computer station at a laundry facility will also be available.
We have a chance to get this thing open, and this is going to be something that we're going to be providing services that are unique to the community.
The grand opening for the Salvation Army of Victoria Life Enrichment Center is at 11:30 tomorrow morning. And here's your viewer poll. Will the Salvation Army Life Enrichment Center help the homeless situation in Victoria? Yes or no? Let's look at the numbers. 80% of the voters say yes, it will help, and 20% say no. We thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we will have an update on 25 News Now at 10. Airbnb is banning the use of indoor security cameras. You can read this article by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. Stay with us. E.G. Carroll's attorneys accepted the more than $91 million bond posted by Donald Trump. That's coming up on 25 News Now at 6. Also ahead, over 35,000 pounds of sausage recalled. Those details straight ahead. Dean Carroll's attorney agreed to accept more than $91 million bond posted by Donald Trump. The agreement comes just ahead of the judge's deadline for a response. Attorneys from Trump filed to appeal the $83 million defamation verdict awarded to Carroll. The bond was needed to prevent Carroll from collecting on the judgment while the appeal plays out, which could take months or even years. Trump continues to deny Carroll's rape and defamation claims against him in spite of the court's ruling. AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular gas climbed to $3.40 a gallon on Friday. That's a 4-month high. Experts say there is no reason to panic about gas prices, at least not yet. Gas prices always rise at this time of the year as the demand for fuel goes up once winter ends. It also means the end of cheap winter fuel and the switch to the more expensive summer fuel blend. That process is just getting started in most states. Johnsonville is recalling more than 35,000 pounds of turkey kielbasa sausage after customers found pieces of rubber in the food. The company is urging people to see their doctor if they suspect the turkey sausage has caused any injury. The recalled product has a best buy date of May 17 and May 18. If people have the turkey sausage in their fridge right now, they should get rid of it or return it to the store for a refund. A sold-out crowd at Minute Maid Park in Houston saw a baseball team unlike any other, the Savannah Bananas.
It's a different day at the ballpark for the Fisher family.
She was excited. She was so excited. Like, it was one of their Christmas presents that we got in the lottery and the drawing, and when she got it, just instant tears streaming. She was just so excited.
Chloe is just one of thousands of fans filling Minute Maid Park, and there's one place where many people started following the team.
I follow all of the players on TikTok, and I love Banana Ball because it's so entertaining and it's really, really fun.
They show us all their dances, like all the TikTok dances they do.
Bananas, balancing acts, and busting dance moves. Part of what makes the Savannah Bananas anything but boring.
I love that it's like super fan interactive and it's not just about watching the baseball. You actually get to interact with like the team and everything.
They play by a different set of rules than the big league teams, but brought in a major league legend, Roger Clemens. This blend of baseball and entertainment is why the Bananas are an exciting team to watch, not just online, but in person.
You see it all over social media and everything, and to have it experienced here at Minute Maid's going to be huge.
Very interesting. I was not aware of the Savannah Bananas. There apparently is some sort of league where they do that kind of stuff. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. We had a terrific weekend. I'm sure you'll agree. But all of a sudden, the cloud deck rolled back in. Yes, that's all that Gulf air rolling in. We got up to where right now we're at 68 degrees. We did get up to about 72 this afternoon. Next couple of days will be actually above our average for this time of year. We're going to be looking at about 80 degrees, but that's only for about 4 days. By Friday, we actually have a chance of getting some rain around here. We'll be talking about that coming up after this. Well, here are your headlines for this week. First of all, we're going to be warm and humid for a couple of days, getting up to near 80 degrees. Gusty winds through the middle of the week. They'll be really picking up to about 25, maybe 30 miles an hour in the afternoon. These are the March winds that we talk about. And then we do have a chance of rain by Friday and over the weekend. We've got 2 fronts headed in our direction. That's pretty fast, you know, back-to-back fronts. But I'll show you about that all coming up. There you see the cloud deck that rolled back up on top of us and obscured the sunlight. We are, of course, getting back into that Gulf air rolling back in that was gone for the weekend. That's why you had such a terrific weekend. We take a look at the big picture, and way out here is our next little front. That's the first one coming in from the Pacific. As you know, the Pacific fronts are not very cold, but then behind that one, the next one is coming in from the north. What could that bring us some cold weather? Well, that's the big question. Get a load of your high temperatures for the next couple of days. 77, then 82, then 80, 79. Oh, Saturday we get down to 74. And by Monday we may be down to 66 as a high temperature. Very interesting. Temperatures tomorrow across the state, 77 for us, 79. Austin, San Antonio, the valley up into the 80s, and of course all that Gulf air streaming northbound. Now the question is, will we get any fog tomorrow? And I think it's going to be patchy. Watch this. And the reason is that we'll have the humidity roll in overnight. The problem is the wind is going to be up a little bit strong. So it all doesn't matter of where the wind is blowing strong or not, that we'll get patchy isolated fog situation. But otherwise, we'll take a look at the big picture. Here's a high pressure that brought us the real nice weekend. That is pulling away. The south wind's going to kick in strong over the next couple of days, so strong that much of the central plains right about all the way down here into the Panhandle. They're under a fire weather watch as this next storm approaches. Now, this one is getting pretty close to our area, and you can see right about there, frontal system pulling back and a little bit of snow up the mountains. We have a chance of getting some sort of rain here with this front Thursday night and into Friday as the first one pulls through. And that one sort of gets stalled by the time we get to Saturday. So continuing rain chance. Then we say, hey, what's this coming in from the north? That's pretty late in the season, but that's a northerly front, and you can see it's going to have a little snow in the mountains. But when it passes through our area, it may give us another shot at rain and actually some cool weather with a due north wind. So we're certainly going to be watching for that one as we get, in toward the end of this week. So tomorrow in Port Lavaca, we start off at 66, mostly cloudy with just a little bit of sun. Getting up to about 76 as a high temperature. In Cuero also mostly cloudy with a high of about 77 as well. So we're getting warmer, yet we're seeing less sunshine, which is counterintuitive. So we're going to be warming up through here. And then Friday is our first rain chance with the West Coast front. Then it may be a little, I won't say a rainy weekend. I'm just going to say a slightly damp weekend. We'll watch for that. And then Monday is that front coming in from the north, which may actually give us a last chances to wear our sweaters for the season. As to your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone, and we'll toss it back to Mr. Don.
Thank you, Mr. Mack, and Zach Brown has your sports. Zach, if we combine this week in NFL free agency, would you call it spring break the bank?
Well, it's spring break the bank. I like that, but there is no break going on. Athletics still going on. I'll have that in sports. And it may be spring break for area schools, but baseball season marches on. Victoria East taking on King over at Riverside. They had Gage Goldman on the mound for the East Side. Strike three looking, ends the top of the fifth. Titans trying to add to their 7-1 lead in the bottom half. They had Lucas Rodriguez at the plate, hit by pitch. He's just going to wear that one. Then some small ball gets him to third with one out, and Ryan Steele does his job. Deep fly ball, and Rodriguez scampers home. Titans pouring it on. It is 8-1 now. In the top of the sixth, Goldman in trouble. 2 on, no outs, but a big strikeout is going to get the first out of the inning, but he's not out of the woods just yet until he gets a pitcher's best friend. That is 6-4-3, an inning-ending double play on the very next pitch. Way to work out of trouble. Titans fired up after that one in the home half. Nothing doing at the plate. They send Gage to the mound to finish what he started after getting 2 quick outs. He's got 2 runners on with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and pitch 102 would seal the deal. Goldman with the complete game, allowing 5 hits, no earned runs. Titans move to 2-0 in district play. Sorry about that video. I don't know what that was, but hey, great pitching. Must be a Victoria thing because UHV baseball and softball, they each took home some hardware. Mason Longoria just got the win over Xavier with a career high 11 strikeouts in the complete game shutout this past Saturday. It is the second time this year Longoria has received the award according to UHV Athletics. This was his third complete game this season. In his last 2 outings, he has thrown career highs in strikeouts. In UHV softball, getting recognized in the Red River Athletic Conference as well. 2 of their players taking home some honors. Kaylee Lopez and Anicia Mendoza. For Lopez, she's been fantastic at the plate, leading the NAIA with 31 RBIs this season. And for Mendoza, she's fresh off of 2 dominant starts, getting 12 strikeouts in 12 innings pitched. The ladies in action this Saturday, 3 p.m. at the Youth Sports Complex. The unpredictable NFL offseason hit pretty close to home for Dallas fans today. Tony Pollard, well, he's leaving, netting himself a deal with the Titans for $24 million over 3 years. The 26-year-old was a 4th-round pick back in 2019. He had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Pollard, very good this past season as well, 1,005 yards with 311 receiving yards out of the backfield. Houston's backfield also getting a little emptier as well. As Cowboys fans, you'll see him twice next year. Devin Singletary going to the Giants, had a fantastic year for Houston. And on that other side of the ball, Houston losing some big ballers. Jonathan Grenard and Blake Cashman remaining teammates, both with the Vikings. Grenard gets 4 years, $76 million. Blake Cashman gets 3 years, $25 million. All right, and also Cowboys fans, Saquon Barkley's leaving, but he's still your problem, going to the Eagles. Don, back to you.
Zach, thank you. We're back in a moment. Indiana tourism leaders are looking at the economic benefits the total solar eclipse will have in their communities. Finally tonight, tourism leaders in Indiana are looking at the long-term economic benefits the total solar eclipse will have in their communities. Many areas across Indiana will experience near totality from the eclipse. Indiana is gearing up for the total solar eclipse with hotel rooms selling out, RV parks full, and officials said the average Indiana visitor spends $183 during their trip between dining, restaurants, and other activities. And we have the winners The 3 winners for Predict the Awards, Joseph, Nancy, and Zoe, each win a $50 gift card from our friends at Dick's Food Store. A big thank you to everyone who took part in Predict the Awards this year. 25 News Now will reach out to the winners. Congratulations to you 3. And getting back a second to the eclipse, I was reading recently where the #1 place in the USA to go to see the eclipse, the Hill Country.
Yes.
Yes.
I have a friend
Yes.
coming from Madison, Wisconsin to Austin to go to the Hill Country, to stand there for 4 minutes, and then to get back and go home. So,
Coming from Madison?
Yep.
Sounds cheesy to me.
I don't know. I mean, some people are getting really excited. In fact, they're putting up traffic advisories now for much of the Hill Country because they expect so many people to get up there to see the eclipse. So
Bell County is thinking about putting out a disaster declaration.
Already?
They're expecting in Belton a lot of people.
yeah, a lot of people going to be in town. You're going to wonder, what are they doing here? They're looking for the eclipse. That's April something. We got a couple of weeks to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, for this week, for the early part of this week, we're going to warm up. We're still going to be on the cloudy side, but we will be looking at temperatures well into near 80 degrees, so you'll be comfortable there. The first front on Friday is a slight chance of rain, kind of a damp weekend, and then a better chance and cooler weather for Monday of next week, so we'll certainly be watching for that.
And maybe some hail up in the Hill Country by Thursday?
I saw that headline that the showers are going to come through. I don't think it's going to be that severe. I mean, I don't know what they saw, but down here I don't expect any significant hail.
Very
out
good.
of that.
Thank you, Mac. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tonight, 25 News Now at 10.